Hello everyone, I am Oluwakemi Ugwakeze and welcome to today's episode on Dear Worship Leaders series. Our topic today is your life as an offering to God, and I'd love to read from the book of Romans chapter 12 from 1 to 2, Message translation. So here is what I want you to do, God helping you. Take your everyday ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best you can do for Him. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you feed into it without even thinking. Instead, fix your attention on God. You will be changed from inside out. Readily recognize what He wants from you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to its level of immaturity. And God brings the best out of you, develops well-formed maturity in you. To get God's best, offer to God your best. Tommy Tenney says, if you want God's best, then you will have to bring what you think is good and acceptable. So what is best? The finest, the greatest, the principal, excellent, the most desirable. Your car is not your best because you can always get another one. Your house is not your best because you can always build another one. Your best is not what you can give yourself, but what God has given you, your life. We exist not because we made ourselves, but because God's breath is in us. God's breath is in us. That is how we live. God is not after your offering or your worship or your service until you have offered yourself first to Him. John Piper says, giving yourself to God means longing for Him to completely possess, rule, satisfy, and use you for His purposes. He's the one that sustains us. We live because of Him and we live for Him. So an offering is presented to someone and it could be accepted or rejected, like the case of Cain and Abel. Gift is generally accepted, but offering is not. And the decision to either accept or reject an offering is from the receiver, not the giver. So let's look at 3 ways on how we can present ourselves as a living sacrifice. How can you present yourself as an offering unto God? Number 1, it means that all that has to do with you, your work, your business, your ministry, your health, your finance, your relationship, your family, everything, all brings honor to God and they're all used for the glory of God. Number 2, to present yourself as an offering is to live worthy, like as a pleasing sacrifice, knowing that your body is not your own. So you honor God with your body and your living is an act of worship to God. And number 3, to present yourself as an offering is to offer spiritual sacrifices to God. Your good works with right motives, things that we do in order to promote and advance God's agenda. So to present your life as an offering to God, 3 keys that you must know is that you must do it willingly, not under compulsion. You release yourself willingly to God. Number 2, you do it continually. You don't take and just, you don't give and take it again. You release it and do it continually. And lastly, you do it joyfully. And in conclusion, Psalm 5 verse 3, the Passion Translation, at each and every sunrise, you will hear my voice as I prepare my sacrifice of prayer to you. Every morning, I lay out the pieces of my life on the altar and wait for your fire to fall upon my heart. Our worship, our offering to God will be pleasing to Him when He accepts us before our songs and our offerings. So till we come in our next episode, remain planted, remain rooted, and remain connected. God bless you.